Hey, what's up guys? Shuckle King here, bringing you my Week 3 team builder and battle for Champions of Galar. We are facing off against yet another tough opponent, Ogalbina. He's currently 0-2, and I know he's really looking to get a win. I feel like he's been fine these first 2 weeks too. I've been looking over his builds. He's been unfortunate, but I know he's going to be looking very hard in this matchup and trying to win it. So I definitely want to give it my all, especially because I'm currently 1-1, which is, definitely better than 0-2. But going 1-2 seems a lot harder to come back from than 0-1. Like after losing my first game, it was definitely frustrating, but I felt like I could get over it and still be fine. Going 1-2, even though it's like the same ratio of wins to losses, it just feels a little tougher to climb back from that. Not impossible, but it just seems like it's even more pressure to win. So going 2-1 would be nice, especially because honestly, I feel like the first 3 games I had this season are probably like the string of 3 games in a row where I'm most, or I guess least confident in winning. Even though everyone is definitely tough and deserves to be in this. So if I can go 2-1 in that stretch, I would definitely be pretty good, and hopefully the rest of the season could go well. But anyway, make sure you guys consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate everyone's support for the team overview, the draft analysis, and the first 2 weeks. It's been really great support, so definitely appreciate you all. Great to have the support going right before the Generation 9 games. So yeah, looking at Owen's team, it's I feel like I have a pretty good matchup, but he has it's annoying. He has 2 modes he could go in this. He could go really hyper offensive, or he could go a bounce mode. And I want to make sure I have enough outs against both. If he goes hyper offense and my team is just normal offense, but doesn't take enough hits and not do enough damage fast enough back, then I feel like I'm in a bind. And if I have too offensive of a team and not enough to break some of his bulky walls like Mew and Octopex, then also don't feel in a great position. So hopefully I have a team that can beat both the modes that I think are both pretty good in this matchup. I probably slightly favor him bringing a more offensive build against my team. I feel like he's going a little bit more balanced the first couple weeks, and I think he wants to change it up. So definitely have to be prepared for that. And Mew is the highlighted mod. It could do a lot of stuff, though. I feel like it is going to be, I know Stallbreaker Mew, I know he's run it a lot. I do think it's the best Mew set in general, and I know he thinks that too. He might change up his path, knowing that I know this, but I still think it's the best matchup in this game. It's super annoying to take on, just because Nidoking is slower than a max speed Mew, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Zygarde potentially can break Mew if it's physically defensive. Cobalion can't really break. Victini is okay against it. Clefable can lose the taunt Mew. There's a lot of avenues that the Mew can go. It's going to be annoying to break down, especially not knowing exactly what type of moveset it can go, and it could obviously not be a Stallbreaker set too. Blacephalon, really good this game. I think I was leaning towards Scarf, looking at the build, especially outspeeding Zygarde, which I think wrecks his team, but I think Specs is also pretty viable too. I do have Mandibuzz and Regirock, which are fine-ish answers. Rotom Wash is okay. Doesn't really take Shadow Balls, but Blacephalon can break through those, so gonna be an annoying mon to deal with for sure. I do want Rocks up. I don't think it would be Boots. Crocodile, probably want something that for the Spec Cheer. Now it could be Aldino. I highly doubt Aldino comes. I have answers for it if it does come. But I don't think it's that great in this matchup, outside of obviously being fine against Spectre. But as we saw, week 2 Rhino didn't bring his type null against me, and Spectre went in, so maybe he'll be a little bit more prepared. But Crook can do it fine. If I'm Colberberry, Nasty Plot, I can do decent damage to Crook, or especially if I'm Will-O-Wisp, or Will-O-Wisp plus Weakness Policy. But anyway, Aldino's probably a better answer, somewhat. But Crook can handle it fine, and Crook can also beat Scarf. I think Scarf Crocodile can also just revenge kill Spectre and be annoying in that regard. Outspeed Nidoking as well. I do have Rotom Wash, which is usually a pretty decent Crocodile answer, and even Mandibuzz isn't that bad. Clefable to an extent can be okay. Doesn't want to take like boosted earthquakes. Thunder's Eye with Thunderwave looks pretty good. I imagine it's going to be electric move, psychic move, Thunderwave, and then you could have one ever in a 4 slot. Maybe Nasty Plot, maybe Volt Switch, maybe U-Turn, maybe Sludge Wave to hit the Clefable a little bit harder. Definitely has options there, but I think Focus Blast for the Regirock could be a possibility, and the Ferroseed. But Thunder's Eye, good in this matchup. Then either like Toxapex or Klefki, either one of them could come, or both if it's more of a bulky build. I kind of doubt both. If you have Thunderwave, I guess Thundurus does that fine, a little more offensively, so maybe Klefki is a little more unlikely than the Toxapex. I think Toxapex is pretty solid, even though I do have double ground. Having Haze to potentially stop a sweep of mine is definitely a plus to have. Dragonite, definitely good. He wants to bring a lot of mons. I don't know if Dragonite fits in, but I think it's pretty threatening if he does bring it. I have decent outs for it, but Dragonite can be scary, especially if I don't get Rocks up and he's like a boosting item or not boots. That could be tough. Appletun, that's tough. It can definitely come, and I've seen it come in all my mocks. I only had 2 this week, but it's a decent answer to like Banded Zygarde in 1,000 Arrows. Like Outrage obviously nukes it, but a good answer into 1,000 Wave Zygarde. It's a decent Victini swap in too. Even like Glaciate's not a 2-hit KO. Dazzling Gleam could be a 2-hit KO, but Appletun could definitely be like especially defensive and take it on fine. So it could be a decent Victini answer. It either wants to be bulky and then it's not going to be doing much damage like Clefable or Mandibuzz, or it could be an offensive set, but it's going to be taking a lot of damage and maybe going 1-for-1, which isn't bad, but I don't know if that's worth it for the Appletun. Lucario is definitely good offensive threat. I don't know if it comes this game. It does add speed to Nidoking, which is nice, and add speed to Rotom Wash too. Like I don't have a great answer in a close combat plus Meteor Mash like Victini doesn't want to switch into that, and don't really have a great switch in otherwise, so it's not bad for sure. Audino could come. Shuckle, don't really consider it coming. Don't have a lot of outs for it though, so it'd be a little annoying if Shuckle came. But and that would be funny if he did bring it. But yeah, looking at this build, I felt the grounds were just super nice in this game. His resists are Thunderous Eye and Appletun. So yeah, I could add Dragonite, but I could take advantage of those. Dragonite, obviously Nidoking is Ice Beam and Outspeed, and Zygarde has Outrage. Thunderous Eye, Nidoking can take a hit fine and kill it Ice Beam in return. Appletun, it's not going to take an Ice Beam that well from Nidoking, and Outrage from Zygarde. So I feel like both the grounds work pretty well. I think Rotom Wash has a decent matchup. I think Victini has a decent matchup. Cobalion, I think, has a good matchup. I think a lot of things have a decent matchup. It's just trying to figure out what 6 I can bring in this build. And I really considered 8 mons in this build, so it's definitely unfortunate I'm leaving out 2 of them. So the first one we're looking at is Zygarde 10, just banded. Gonna kill a bunch of stuff. Considered Scarf for Scarf Blacephalon, because obviously banded Extreme C, it's not gonna revenge kill because it's a normal type move on a ghost type. But Zygarde, there's not a great switch in. Like if it's physically defensive Mew, that's good to know that it's, well, first physically defensive and not speedy, so that way my Nidoking would add speed into a KO with Sludge Wave in the future. But outside of Mew, I don't think there's that great of a switch in. You might have like a Shuckle Berry Lure and like go for a big hit in return. That might be the best way. Or like a physically defensive Crocodile. But if it's that set, then my Spectre, which I do bring this game, probably goes in a little bit better. Superpower for the Audino, Extreme Speed for Revenging, and 1,000 Outrage for the Appletun. I don't think Scale Shot was worth it, even though it would break the Dragonite's multi-scale with the first hit and then go for a couple hits afterwards. Felt like it wasn't worth it. Nidoking is here, outspeeding Jolly Dragonite, if that is a bring. Stealth Rock, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, and Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch doing 90-ish% min to Blacephalon, depending on the bulk, which is great. Definitely kills it after rocks, just in case it's like a Scarf set and it's getting a little out of control. I have a way to revenge it, or just get a decent hit off on like a Mew. If it is a fast Mew and I just keep going for Sludge Waves as it Mew like wants to roost, predicting me to switch out and not risk my Nidoking. My Nidoking actually does live 1 Psychic and 1 Psyshock, even with the minus defense nature. and then I can kill with 2 Sludge Waves, unless it's special defensive. But then I'll be outspeeding, so that's also fine. But if it's like a max HP, max speed set, Sludge Wave should be doing more than 50%, and then Sucker Punch might be able to pick up the kill if I predict him to go for a Psychic. So we'll see if that situation handles out with Nidoking, but that'd be cool if it did. Dual Stabs were nice to hit everything, hits the Dragonite. Ice Beam would have been nice, but it's not like Ice Beam's going to kill the Dragonite, assuming it's Boots. Victini is going to be my lead this game. Weakness policy, trapping, taunting. This should break down the Mew plus the Appletun is my goal. If it can Fire Spin trap the Audino or the Toxapex, that is also fine with me. Blue Flare plus Psychic hits everything on the team fine. Like, it doesn't hit the Appletun the hardest, but Psychic Stab, like, it'll hit her for like 35% or so, depending on the special defense bulk. And then I do have Taunt to make sure Appletun doesn't beat with like Leech Seed recover sets and such. Fire Spin, I can trap them in. And if I can weaken or kill the Appletun, it's going to open up my Zygarde even more if that does come. I could also trap a Mew potentially. If I go for a Taunt, if it's like a speedy Toxic set, I do risk the Speed tie if it's max speed Mew. But if I know if it's max speed Mew, then my Zygarde's going to Twig KO 1,000 arrows. My Nidoking Twig KOs with Sludge Wave. It would get outsped, but Sludge Wave and the Sucker Punch would kill, which is good information to know. So yeah, Victini's going to lead early game. Unless it's a Blacephalon lead, that'd be annoying. But my bulk allows me to live a Scarf Crook Earthquake, and then pop my weakness policy. I would kill it a Blue Flare. If I could go 1-for-1 with the Victini in that circumstance, that's fine. It opens up my Spectre. And if the Blacephalon leads, I take a Scarf Shadow Ball, and I would kill it Psychic. So really the only bad situation would be a lead Specs Blacephalon set going for Shadow Ball when I do have Amanda Buzz in the back. So that if the Blacephalon leads, I don't know what I would do. I just hope that doesn't happen. Cobalion is next. This will outspeed the Blacephalon if it's Scarfed and kill it a Stone Edge. Close combat Mega Horn hits everything except for the Toxapex, which I'll Volt Switch on, and that's fine. Mega Horn should 2-hit KO the Mew. If it's max HP, if it's physically defensive, I don't 2-hit KO, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. HP allows me to live a +1. Is it Adamant or Jolly? It's a +1 Jolly Earthquake from Dragonite after Rocks, which is definitely fine. It could be Dragon Dance Earthquake Extreme Speed. You're not really hitting Clefable if you're Dragon Dance Earthquake Extreme Speed, and then like a Dragon move, I guess, because you want to hit Rotom Wash as well. That kind of seemed like a weird set. It could be a possibility though, but I do take a +1 Earthquake from Dragonite, which is nice. Hopefully Twig KO with Stone Edge, or I just miss and lose. That's fine too. Next we got the Spectre. Looks like a weird set. It's a Focus Sash set with Substitute. It gives me a couple outs. I could substitute on an Audino if it's if I predicted to be a Toxic set. I probably won't go for Substitute. I could be Taunt as well. But I think Substitute is fine if I want to get like a free switch on something, and I don't need the Nasty Plot boost. But +2 Nasty Plot into Hyper Beam on a Crocodile should kill. And if it's Scarf Crocodile, then my Focus Sash will activate, and I'll definitely kill unless if I miss with Hyper Beam. But the Focus Sash gives me an out to, like, if I go for like +2 Shadow Ball and then the Crocodile's weakened, I can kill the Crocodile, then my Spectre is still at 100% health with a Sash, and then if there's something else on the team, like Scarf plus Cephalon, it's meant to revenge kill the Spectre, I will have my Sash, and then I can kill it a Shadow Ball in return, and hopefully it'll pile up the kills with this Spectre. Hopefully I prevent his team from getting rocks up early game with the Mew. Or if the Mew is rocks, I have a Sente with Taunt. I should be fine against it. Crocodile, I go for blue. If it gets rocks up, Victini will 2-hit KO, which should be fine. And are they the only 2 rockers on the team? They are. So I think I should be able to prevent rocks and have my Sash intact with the Spectre. I guess Spike's Klefki, if it leads with that and I kill with my Victini, that's whatever. The Sash isn't most important, but nice to have. And last is Mandibuzz to take on the Blacephalon. So no Clefable, no Rotom Wash this week. Definitely unfortunate. I do feel like I'm a little bit weaker to Dragonite, so I did put a little bit of bulk into physical defense. That's a decent amount. This will take a +1 Adamant, Outrage, from the Dragonite if I do take rocks damage. And then I can foul play and do a lot of damage or toxic it, and we'll figure out a way from there. But I do have a 10% chance to die to 2 Fire Blast from Scarf Blacephalon, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. I could die to 2 Meteor Mashes from Lucario, Life Orb Lucario as well, which is also unfortunate. Like, Foul Play does decent damage to Lucario, especially if he wants to go for Sword Stance. But it is what it is there. Mental Herb is there to get a Toxic on the Mew, if that comes down to it. I imagine you probably have Taunt on the Mew to make sure I won't be able to status it, but I can status the Mew with Toxic unless I miss. U-Turn for Momentum. I want to defog on this set, but I think having 2 forms of Momentum on the team are definitely nice options to have. So that's my team. Definitely want to win this week. I definitely know Owen's going to be going all out for this game, so hopefully it works out for me. All right, so here we are for the game against Owen. So he brings a more balanced team than I would have imagined. Either Scarf Crocodile or Scarf Blacephalon, I'm sure of. He does bring Mew plus Audino plus Appletun, so definitely some pretty passive mons there. Hopefully my Victini early game should just, like, take something out. Either I take out the Appletun early, so that way my Zygarde goes in. Like, what's the switch in outside of that? Not much. Or I take out the Audino, and at that point, Spectre goes in. There is a Crocodile as a backup check, so I do have to watch out for that. Thundurus is out. Okay. Do I just stay in and Blue Flare with the Victini? How much do I care about Thundurus doing a lot to me? I mean, I would kill with a Blue Flare if he goes for a Dark Pulse. Could go for a Thunder Wave here, which would be annoying, but I think I want to go for a Blue Flare and just do a bunch of damage early on. You could a Nasty Plot as well, so we'll see what the play is. Nathan, okay. Appletun comes out. Let's see how much damage I do. About 22%, and I get the burn. So pretty specially defensive. Oh, he's red card. Okay. Red card Appletun. Max special defensive. Blacephalon comes out. Now, if he Scarf, he would outspeed. I do live a hit. Now, this is a tough call. Do I just sack off my Mandibuzz here? Do we go for Shadow Ball, or do I go and make the ballsy play and see if he's Scarfed or not? I think I make the play and just go into my Mandibuzz. I don't think the Mandibuzz is going to be... The Mandibuzz is pretty decent this game. It gets Toxics off and such. It could be a setup Mew. I do have to watch out for that. But I just U-turn here. Overheat. It's going to do a lot of damage. 217 down to 31. Okay, specs. 217. 186 damage. That's a lot. Overheat to my Mandibuzz. How much did I say? 186. So yeah, it's timid specs. It could be modest specs too. Do I want to go into my Victini here on that hit? Is Mandibuzz going to be that useful anymore? Probably not. And if I can get a Roost up, that would be good. Yeah, so Mandibuzz is... Oh, okay. He's got to switch out. And go into the Mew. Rocks would be definitely very annoying. I don't know if he was worried about me being Scarfed, but I'm fine having this. And I'm going to just go for a Toxic. Any damage I can get on this would be great. Ice Beam, okay. 140 down to 34. 106 damage, and I do land. Great. 106. Ice Beam. timid, 106, expert belt. Yeah, okay. Expert belt, Mew. Yeah, I think I just sacked this off. So Mandibuzz is down. It was a pretty good defensive pivot into things. Don't have much for Blacephalon. Good to know that it's Scarfed. Can't go into Nidoking to get a Brox. Don't have a great Earthquake switch in either. Scarf Crook is looking pretty annoying. But I do have the Sash, so that is fine. Do I just bring in Victini here? Because Zygarde's not going to kill, Chameleon's not going to kill Spectrier. Spectrier, the, what's it called? The Aldino's still a thing, so I don't think I really want to bring that in. I think I just bring in my Victini and go for a Blue Flare. Yeah, I'm fine going for a Blue Flare here. He could switch into the Appletun and not take a ton, but I can get a taunt on it, and it's okay. If you stay in an attack, then I'll get my weakness policy boost, which would be fine as well. I just do know that I do not take a Shadow Ball from the Blacephalon because it is Specs. Hydro Pump. Okay, so he's max speed. Can do a lot of damage. Get my weakness policy off. Definitely annoying. I guess the Mew is down, but it did a lot of damage. And I do land. Okay, so the Mew is down, but I did take a lot in that exchange. So not the greatest. I don't think I was going to take out the Mew anyway. But I don't really see a great switch into 1,000 Arrows or an Outrage, honestly. Honestly, Outrage looks really free from my Zygarde. Blacephalon comes in. I can sack this, or I can go into my Spectrier. It's gonna go for Shadow Ball. I really don't have a switch into this. I guess I just sack this off. I can go into Spectrier and guarantee live a hit with Focus Sash. Do I want to do that? Spectrier. It might be worth it. No, I don't think it's worth it. I think, especially if it's Scarf Crook, I think it's worth it for me to have a Nasty Plot option up there. We'll go for a Psychic and knock this out. If it's slower for some reason. It's not... Now, can my Zygarde kill? Blacephalon. Level 50. Oh yeah, I kill with Outrage. I also kill with my Spectrier. No, but I need to get hit damage on that Aldino, unfortunately. So this will come out. I think it has to be Scarf. It could be Scarf Thunders, I guess, but that's not going to kill me. We'll go for an Outrage and get this kill. Either that or you go into like Crocodile and get an Intimidate off, but I'm doing a lot of damage to Crook. I feel like it's choose your sack right now. Nathan. Okay, the Appletun. Yeah, that's fair. Outrage comes off, and that will kill. Okay, so 2-2. I lose my Victini and my Mandibuzz to his Appletun and Mew. I think he's probably fine with that exchange. The Mew is pretty threatening, so it's not terrible for me either. Cobalion, like, it's kind of tough to lock in the moves with it, but it's not in a bad spot either. Now, I probably live a Crocodile hit. Level 50, I do. I am going for an Outrage. It's -1. I am doing 60 to 70%, so that's not bad. And I can probably bring out my, I mean, if he goes for an Earthquake, Cobalion can take a hit. But it puts me in a weird spot for sure. Alright, Earthquake comes off. That shouldn't kill it. Maybe if it's adamant. Okay, so that's 106 damage. Okay, so a little bit of bulk, which makes sense. And I get the 3-turn outrage. Okay, so my Zygarde is going to be down to Scarf Crocodile. I have to go into my Cobalion here. Now he has the Blacephalon left, he has the Thunderous Eye left. What do you sack off here? So you can go into Thunderous. Does Thunderous take 2 close combats? I'm sure it does, fine. Cobalion to Thunderous. Level 50, close combat, it does take 2. I can go for Stone Edge here. If I lose this to the Crook, I probably lose though. I think going for a close combat is... That's a tough play. Yeah, I feel like I have to go for close combat here. Let's see. You probably going to Thunderous? Blacephalon. Super aggressive. Now, what do... I should have gone for Stone Edge. Do I go into Nidoking on the Blacephalon? Choice Specs. Overheat, Shadow Ball. Kills me. You just go for a Flamethrower here. I guess I go into my... my Spectrier. Goes for Flamethrower. Ah, I get burned. I think I still live the hit. Okay, I do. He's gonna switch out into... The burn's unfortunate. He's gonna switch out into... You switch out into Audino here, right? I guess I go for Hyper Beam. I don't think you sack this. Yeah, you definitely go into Audino here. Yeah, I could have set up a nasty plot. I 100% would have set up a nasty plot, and I miss. Yeah. It's looking like a loss. That is really unfortunate. I go into Nidoking. Yeah, I go into Nidoking. Set up rocks and try to do as much damage as possible. Yeah, that was annoying. Not the most game-changing, but definitely annoying. I wasn't as aggressive as I should have been. Get up rocks. We'll see if you go for an Encore here. Probably a knockoff. Encore. Okay. A knockoff against my Cobalion might not be that bad. Crook. Probably... Yeah, it doesn't kill me with an Earthquake. If I do go for close combat against the Audino, then I lower my defenses and it will kill me. Amel comes out. The Thunderous. Probably goes for a Psychic here. I can Volt Switch. Yeah, now I go for Stone Edge, and if I get a crit, it's probably decent for me. It doesn't go for a Thunder Wave. Oh, that's pretty bulky. Thunderbolt does a lot. Yeah, what's that, 105 damage? Yeah, so like, I think I go for a Stone Edge here. Even if you go for a Thunder Wave, you could miss. But then I have to switch out into Nidoking anyway. You probably go for a Psychic, though. If I get a Sucker Punch off, does Nidoking live a Scarf Crook hit? I don't think so. No, I definitely don't. It might do enough damage to where Cobalion can then lock into Stone Edge and crit. That's going to be really tough. Yeah, I think I go for the Stone Edge here and try to get some kills. Defog, okay. Yeah, getting rid of rocks is good. This is dead. You know what? I think I stay... no, I think I still lose this, but I go for Stone Edges with the Cobalion. It's pretty healthy. And I get intimidated. If I get a crit... So he's not going to kill me... Oh, he's going to kill me with an Earthquake. That's right, I took damage. Yeah, we'll switch out into you. Yeah, that was well played by Ogalbina. I don't think I would have really done much different there. The max speed Mew was definitely good. Blacephalon was nice. I could have, like, I knew it was a bad matchup getting with Victini against Blacephalon if that, like, ever came into it. So the eject pack was or red card from the Appletun was definitely nice. Respects for that. Will he try to save differential? I'm going to say no. I'll go for close combat and get the kill. He might switch out into Blacephalon and I go for Stone Edge, but it doesn't make too much of a difference. So yeah, he definitely finds out we're Scarfed. I guess he technically didn't know we were Scarfed or not. So Ogalbina gets the win. He's up into 1 and 2, so definitely good for him. And I am down to 1 and 2, which is definitely unfortunate. I feel fine with this team though. Like there is honestly no regrets. My week 1 game was definitely unfortunate, but the red card Appletun was definitely nice. I got the Blacephalon in. It put me in an unfortunate spot for sure. And my plan was to always go for a Toxic on the Mandibuzz, with the Mandibuzz on the Mew. I maybe could have gone for a foul play there, and then maybe that would have put it in range of a Blue Flare if I won the speed tie against the Mew, which we found out I didn't win the speed tie. But yeah, I don't think I would have done anything else otherwise. So good prep for him. Down in 1 and 2, so definitely need to pick it up these next couple weeks. But I should be fine. I don't think I'm too worried. But good games, and until next time, later, guys. Oh, make sure you go check out Ogalbina's channel. Link is down below. He has a lot of great stuff, so definitely go check him out. But yep, until next time, later, guys.